Hello. God, why does it say Johnny Wong still, for fuck's sake?
Yeah, we all.
Hey guys.
Hi. How are you doing?
Very well, how are you?
Not bad, not bad.
Awesome. My name's Tommy, by the way. It's not Chornick Wong. For some reason I can't. It sometimes says Thomas on there and sometimes doesn't. So it's annoying.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's also like my name is Frederick. Also, this fucking like Frederick Billmeyer
Okay, well,
together
it's
no
all
space.
one word. Yeah, yeah. It's annoying.
Where are you from?
I was in the call earlier and it said Thomas, and I was like, yeah, and then it's just embarrassing.
Yeah, yeah, kind of. You had a sales call.
Sorry.
You had a sales call.
I haven't had no. I had a sales call. I had a just If I said sales call, I apologise. I didn't.
Hello, ladies. Please turn on camera. Should be yeah. Perfect.
1 second.
All right. Fathom. Nice to meet you.
Oh, Ismael, nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you all.
Wonderful. So let me just connect my camera, then we can kick off today's session. And a few more people can join. Oh, does anyone have any dining questions for me? No? Wonderful.
I'm just trying to get my camera working.
I think I was on mute then. Did you hear what I said? You didn't hear what I said, did you?
Very good. So Abubakar, camera on. Alex, camera on. Wonderful. So, oh, amazing, that's connected. We are going to have a nice, boring session, which is what everybody wants in life, as we go over the introduction of the call. Until this is done perfect, you will keep going. So, who has their updated questions for discovery? Now, we have some slightly new people. Abu Bakr, please can you explain to the, oh yeah, cool. Please explain to the classroom what is discovery questions.
Yeah, so discovery questions, you're just trying to find out things about your prospect, so
Yeah.
you can use it to sell them.
Wonderful. Give me a bit more information than that.
Um, you use the information you get from them to dive into pain points and build rapport with them.
Okay, Alex, why else do we ask the discovery questions?
Is to also show that we're competent. We can use discovery questions to mention certain data or certain facts that will make us look professional, make us look like niche experts.
Wonderful. Fatlum, why else would we ask discovery questions in the beginning of the call?
I think like to find like the support what they need from our services, how we can support them.
Okay, very good. Ish. Another reason is to find out whether or not they have the funds available. Another reason is to find out what type of client would you be working with. Are you working with a lazy shit or are you working with someone competent? Another reason is to figure out whether or not they're an intellectual buyer to indicate whether or not you go into pain or not into pain. These are the fundamental reasons. Now, look, we're going to make it a classroom vibe, but Frederick is being difficult and not turning on his camera, so we will no longer make it a classroom vibe. Cool.
I'm fucking trying to activate it, but I don't
That's
know what
okay.
the issue is.
So we're going to play a nice quiz of competence. All right. So I'm just going to write down all of your. Where the fuck's my pen? There we go. We're going to put down everyone's name here. So we got Dia, Karen, Rudra, Abubakar, Alex, and we have the Chronic Wong. We got Frederick,
Johnny.
and then Batlum. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over all of the questions. I'm
No,
going to.
guys.
This is the order. I'm pretty sure you guys can figure out. Who the fuck has the echo? One of you guys has an echo. It's not you, Dio. Yeah, there we go. Wonderful. So I'm going to say your name. You have two chances to give me a valuable discovery question. Frederick, are you smoking in our classroom? That is disgusting behavior. Unprofessional. Yeah. So I'll say your name. I want an answer. Give it to me. So, Dio, any question?
What prompted you to participate in this call today?
Good. Okay.
How many clients have you been dealing with in the last month?
What does dealing with mean? Go again.
How many products have you sold in the last month?
Okay, I'm okay with that. Rudra?
Which lead generation sources have you utilized in the past?
Cool. Abubakar?
How many deals have you closed this far in the year?
Can you speak like an adult?
How many deals have you closed so far this year?
Good. Alex?
What percentage do you get off of each client? Because I work with financial planners.
Fine. Chronic Wong? Unmute yourself. Chronic Wong, you're muted.
Sorry. I said, how much profit do you make on average a month?
Okay.
What lead generation? What kind of lead generation works best for you in your business at the moment?
More specific. Because they're going to tell us the
Which lead generation? Yeah. Which source gives you the best lead?
Okay. Which sources from that which you utilize have the highest conversion rates per 10 leads, right? Because then we're getting some specific answers.
Works best.
Patlum.
All right.
What kind of challenges you faced last week?
Why week? What do you gain from 1 week's data?
Well, maybe so I can analyze how was the last week, so I can improve them for the next week.
No. This is on a sales call. This is on a sales call. So you're trying to close them.
Oh, okay. Sorry. What's the how many retainers do you all expect?
How many what?
Retainers do you expect?
That's from the results that you bring them.
Yes.
But then that would depend on multiple facets, such as, okay, fine, I'll give you that. You knew. Now, next round, I want complicated questions that give us very specific pinpointed information that we can utilize. Dio.
What is your current conversion rate expressed as percentage of successful sales calls? Successful sales to total calls.
To total leads. Okay, but total calls to yours. Now, everyone, please understand that was a standard set by a 15-year-old. I'd like to uphold this standard and not go below it. Karen.
How much profit have you been making from all your products you sold this past month?
No. Give me something more complicated.
How much has your conversion rate increased or decreased over the last year?
Doesn't really give us much. I'm going to give you nothing there. Do you want me to explain why it doesn't give us much?
Yeah.
Because they're going to say an answer like it's increased. The likelihood of them having the actual data on conversion rates based off 1 year tracking is very low. And then if they say it's increased or decreased, then we're going to have to ask what has it increased by and what are the reasonings to it increasing or decreasing, meaning that we're splitting up one question into 3 questions if we can get past the first one, making it a weak question. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Rudra?
What percentage of your customers make a second purchase?
I like that. Abu Bakr.
What percentage of leads do you? No, how do you? No.
Okay, go again, Abu Bakr. We've just started the call, so go again.
How do you qualify? How do you turn mildly qualified leads into paying customers?
Not against that. Could be asked better, but not against that. Alex?
Do you work alone or do you work with a team? And if you work with a team, could you walk me through the process of prospect conversion?
I would go more down the line of delegation when it comes to closing deals. Not so much conversion.
Why delegation?
Because you want to figure out how the work is split across the team rather than the conversions on the team. Because you said conversion, but then like the team works together to convert. So what do you mean?
No,
by
but
that?
since it's because it's a financial planner. So if it's a team, it means they're like multiple independent ones. So as in, so the question I usually ask to know if they work together on lead generation and then split them in between themselves, or if they do it individually. That's basically
Okay,
usually.
but then that would be delegation. So how would the leads be delegated if they would be delegated across the teams?
Okay, got it.
And then you can further that with saying, and on the basis that they are delegated, do you see a difference in the conversion based on who is working the leads? Right.
Good. Okay, nice.
Or you could also then talk about delegation based on what services are being offered. Make
I
sense?
see.
Cool.
Yep.
Put that as a pass. Chronic Wong. Unmute. Unmute.
What are your top 3 conversion methods? And for those, what are the percentage of closing rate for them?
This is based off of lead generation, correct?
Yeah.
Very good. Another thing that you can touch base on is the cost per acquisition. Right. So depending on each 3 methods, what is the cost per acquisition? So we know how much is it costing them to get a deal, and then also what is the conversion rate on each cost. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. I'm just going to mute you because you got like sound. Cool. Frederick.
What's your goal? What's your goal in lead generation? How many clients do you want to have?
Terrible question.
Why?
You're asking how many clients does a business want to have? Take a guess. Unlimited.
Yeah, of course, but his goal, he's not going to say unlimited.
Yeah, okay, perfectly fine. But then when you prompt a question like that, you have to be careful because many people fall down the trap of then trying to provide all of those leads. Does that make sense?
Makes sense, yeah.
Cool.
But still a question to be asked.
give you half a tick. Yes. And then final one.
How much you pay for the ads?
So what is your current spending? Half a point. Cool. So everyone more or less understands the level of questioning. Now we're going to do a fun thing where everyone's going to go up against me. So please make sure that you don't have the script available. You're going to take it A to Z. I'll give you nice, quick answers, and let's see how you take it. We're going to be aiming for logical. So the whole point of this is convo versus checklist. I don't want to hear a checklist coming from you. I want to hear a conversation. What that means is, based on the answers of what I give, you need to go to the next logical question or the closest point to data. Does this make sense? Wonderful. Do you guys remember the order that you were all in? All you have to do is remember the person ahead of you. Wonderful. Let's go.
We do
Well-
framing as well.
Do we have a specific niche that we need to think about, or you're just gonna give it to us during the conversation?
You tell me your niche, then we'll hit it running.
Okay,
So-
do we do framing as well, right?
Do fucking everything. I assume that this is real.
So I'm in marketing agencies. Okay. Hey, can you hear me all good? Is everything all right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so let's just get into it. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
So how this calls will typically go is that I'm gonna ask you some questions to see where you are, where you want to go, what's stopping you from getting there. If I think we're a fit, I'll let you know early, break down everything, and we could proceed further. If not, I'm not gonna waste neither my time or your time, and
Okay,
neither of-
next, that was shit. Yeah, lots of gaps, lots of breaking, exaggerated questioning. The first two questions were benign and you stumbled on them, and then you gave me a long speech. All right, so your framing was off from the beginning. Now, granted, was it bad? No, but I want great. Next.
Okay, so my niche is electronic manufacturing services, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Ismael, how many clients have you been dealing with in the last couple of months?
As in new clients or also active clients?
As new clients?
I think we would have taken on about 50 new clients.
50?
Yeah.
50 clients over which time span?
Let's say the past 3-4 months, give or take. I don't have the data in front of me.
Okay, so let's say you have been dealing with 12 new clients. So how have you be able to acquire them?
Predominantly word of mouth. A little bit of SEO is what we've been pushing. We've seen some growth on that. We don't know if it's connected, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you been ever dealing with finding out whether this is connected? Have you been hiring someone for this topic?
Yeah, we hired someone, but it's quite hard to tell when it comes to SEO. Like, we're getting more people coming in, but we don't know if it's because of SEO or word of mouth. But it's
Okay.
looking- yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which part of the clients have been the best clients for you? Like, do you want them to stay with you for a long time?
Pardon?
Do you want your clients be long-term clients or short-term clients?
I'll let you take a guess.
Long-term clients, I suppose.
Yes.
Okay. Which other message have you ever used to acquire new clients?
We looked into doing Google ads, but we never really started.
Mm-hmm. How much money would it have taken you to start Google Ads? Have you ever calculated that?
Nope.
Have you ever worked with someone who proposed different methods to you?
Nope.
Okay,
Karen,
so
you failed. You failed. If I've told you that I've never tried anything else and I've looked into Google ads, that is indicative of the fact that I have never worked with anybody who does any type of advertising. Make sense?
okay, yeah. So what would be like? Should I ask you what your what your CTR is or what your cost per acquisition is?
Why would I have a CTR if all I'm doing is referrals and SEO?
Okay,
Also-
actually at this point,
And based on those two methods, there is no cost per acquisition. It's referrals.
okay. So what would you propose for me to go on with the question? Like, what would the next logical question be in your opinion?
I wouldn't have asked a few of your questions. The first thing is, where have you been? Where do you want to go? What's stopping you getting there? Then I would have a conversation on the difference between referrals and general leads. What methods have we looked into? You have a bulk of information. Then we can look at cost per acquisition, the average lifetime value of a client. That will be very useful for us. Then based on that, we know how much one client is worth to them. And when we bring them, the one big clarification is going to be needing to highlight to me that there's a difference in the conversion rates with referrals versus advertising, as an example. Right? And once I fully understand that, then we can move into negative rapport, because clearly I don't do shit to further my business, and then we go into presentation.
All right.
Next.
Should I start from the beginning or
No, start from the end. Why don't you start from the end?
wait? No, I'm starting from the beginning. Sorry, my bad. Wait, can you hear me?
Yes.
Wait, so first of all, I will introduce myself and how this call is gonna. So in this 15-minute introduction call, I will ask you a couple of questions to know you and your company better, where you are and where do you want to go. And if we can help you, it would be great for us. And if not, then I'm gonna end this call, which will save your time and mine as well. Sounds good?
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So first of all, what prompted you to join our call today?
So you fucked up. Where did you fuck up? Someone tell me where you fucked up.
Order.
Yeah,
Why
Dio?
did I ask you?
Same mistake as me. I think there were gaps and us.
Nope. Nope. Anyone who was actively listening would have known his fuck up.
Should it be obvious why you've got the call to begin with? Because you've already
Nope.
said that.
Is why you get the call should go first, right? And then
What the fuck? What the fuck did he tell me? How was he gonna handle the call?
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to introduce myself. Now, granted, there's no fucking need to introduce yourself, but you fucking said it and you didn't introduce yourself. What that means is you're
Okay.
speaking for the sake of speaking and you're not using your brain. Right? But other than that, it was good for you. Very good entry. But you didn't need the beginning part. And if you're going to fucking say the beginning part, fucking introduce yourself. Make it sound good. Next. Walker.
Yes. So, Ishmael, how are you doing today?
One.
Good, good. So the way these calls normally go is pretty straightforward. I'll ask you a few questions to understand where you're at right now and where you want to be. And if I feel we're a good fit, I'll walk you through what we do. And if we're not a match, that's totally fine. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, that was.
Awesome. So what brought you on this call today?
Interested to grow my business, see what you have to offer.
Okay, and what goals do you have with your business so far?
But obviously to grow the business, like get more clients, get more acquisition, and just grow.
Okay, how many clients are you dealing with on a monthly basis at the moment?
I would say, what, 50 on average?
And what would you like to get that number to?
If we can, 200.
Okay, sounds good. What lead generation sources do you use to get these clients?
Right now, we're doing a little bit of Google Ads onto a funnel, which is working well, and referrals.
And how many of these are you getting from each one?
Referrals, I'd say we get about 5 to 10 referrals monthly, and we're getting about 10 clients monthly through Google.
Okay. And how many leads do you get from both?
Feel free to do the addition of what I just said.
Okay. Wait, what do you mean?
You just asked me what lead generation methods do I do and how they're performing. I told you the numbers for both of them, and then you asked me to add up both numbers.
No, we said you were dealing with 50 leads a month or 50
Yes.
clients, 50 leads.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because you did not
Okay.
clarify whether it's new clients or existing clients, so I decided to add both of them together.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
So,
Karen?
so how many of those 50 clients are new clients monthly?
Is it just me or is he just fucking shit at maths? I'm very confident I
Right.
clarified how many come from referrals and how many come from Google Ads. Did I not?
Oh yeah, it's 5 to 10. Okay. Okay, yeah. And wait, was it clients? Is it paying clients that you get 5 to 10 from each, or is it just leads?
Paying clients.
Paying clients. Okay.
Next. There's multiple fuck ups, but the introduction was good. You're not listening and you're not asking specific questions. This is why you need to ask specific questions on the basis that you just say how many clients are you working with. You don't know if I mean existing client base or you don't know if I mean acquisition, making it a fucking useless question because then you end up in traps like that.
Yeah.
And you also asked retarded questions because I told you how many and you asked me to add them up twice. Next.
I do financial planners.
Cool.
Hello, Ismael. How are you today?
Wonderful. How are you doing?
All good. So look, how these calls usually go is that I'll ask you a few questions just so that I can have a better idea of where your business is at, what your goals are, what works good for you, what doesn't. Then based on that, I'll see if I think that we're a good fit. If I do, I'll show you what I do and then we'll see what we go from there. If not, I'll just tell you so we don't waste my time and we don't waste yours, so we could just end the call there. How does that sound?
Yeah, that works.
Cool. So how long have you been a financial planner for?
About 20 years.
20 years. And is that including the time after you passed your CFP exam?
Yeah.
Right. So when did you pass it?
20 years ago.
Yeah, okay. Are you an independent advisor or do you work with a firm?
My firm.
Your firm. And how big is your team? Do you have any other advisors?
Is this full-time or contractors included?
Just full-time and purely planners. So contractors, it's not necessary.
Okay, so I'd say about what, 15?
15. How many clients do you manage and how many clients does your team manage?
It's a wide array. Some is joint. I'd say in total we've got about 200 clients on the books.
So you have 200 clients and everybody manages their own personal book, or do you have one book for the whole firm?
No, it's all split up and depending on what's being provided. Some are managed in a team, some are managed, depends on the client.
So the whole team manages the book together. Is that right?
You can say that, yes.
Yeah. Is there any clients that you, maybe high profile clients that you deal with just yourself?
No, everything is managed by the team. No, we have high profile clients, but the whole team manages it.
Right. What's your average assets under management per client? So what do you strive for when you look for clients?
We're looking at the lowest end, we're looking at what, 750, but on average, I'd say 1.2 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what is the percentage you get? What is the fee that you get from the profits you make your clients?
Typically, we're looking at 5%. Some clients is a little bit higher, but yeah, 5%.
Well, you said typically. When it varies, why does it vary?
We have a handful of clients where we're taking higher fees based on our agreements with them. But on the standard is 5% for us.
Right. When you have clients, when you ask for more, is it based on just of negotiations or do you include extra services to them?
Those types of clients, we're on special agreements. But let's just stick with 5%. That'll make it easier.
Okay. How do you receive your clients? I know most financial planners rely mostly on referrals, especially since you've been 20 years in the business, you probably know everybody. But have you tried any other lead generation methods?
We did a bit of SEO. We didn't see any difference in that. And I don't really like the idea of using Facebook, Google. I know some people use it. It works. We've never done it ourselves. One thing I'm staying away from is Facebook, though, because I just think that's bullshit.
Why do you say that? What makes you believe that?
If I'm targeting people who are in the millions, the last thing if I'm looking to put millions, I'm not going to click on a Facebook ad because that's not trustworthy.
Right. So do you think that all ads that are done are always to sell something? Have you ever seen ads that have a different purpose?
No, of course you've got ads that are based for branding, just so people remember the name, like Coca-Cola, so on and so forth. But when it comes to quality, I know for a fact that if we were to go down the Google route, we get better results. What do you offer Facebook? Is that what you do?
Not specifically, no. I'm just trying to get a better idea of your perspective on social media, on ads in general, just to have a better idea.
That's cool.
So why do you say that Google ads work better? Is this based on your experience? Have you tried it before?
This is based on associates that I know that utilize advertising. So I've been speaking to a bunch of partners that I know throughout the field, and they're all telling me Google is much better than Facebook.
Is there any numbers they backed it up with, or did they try both? Why do they say that?
I assume it's because they get more clients from it, and I assume they've tried both.
Right, so it's all just assumptions.
You say assumptions, like they're good at maths because that's our field. So I trust their opinion.
Fair enough. But you do trust numbers too, right? So if you were to talk to somebody who can show you numbers and show you exactly why Meta ads sometimes perform better than Google ads, would you still believe those numbers, or you stick to your opinion?
Case by case.
Okay. So you told me about SEO. Could you walk me through? You said you don't really have the numbers. You said there is improvement, or you don't know if there is improvement yet. How long have you done that for?
We did it for about 6 months. Didn't like it. Stopped it. Nothing was happening.
Nothing was happening.
Yeah.
Could you tell me who exactly you worked with? Maybe
Just
you
some
just worked with the wrong person.
random team. Like they seemed good. They had the credentials to back them. I wasn't happy.
Were they working specifically with financial planners, or were just doing SEO in general?
SEO in general, but they were working with other financial planners as well.
But do you understand the benefit of working with one specific niche fully?
Pardon?
Do you see why working with one specific niche fully is a benefit in this context? For example, if it was an SEO firm that worked fully with financial planners, would you have more trust in the results?
I guess, but didn't do it. Don't want to do it again.
Amazing. Can I ask you if you're at maximum capacity at the moment with the
Nope.
200 clients you have for?
If I was at max capacity, would I be on this call?
Probably not. Well, what is the number of additional clients, assuming the average of 1.2 million AUM? What is
Over
the
the
average amount of clients you'd need to get to your max capacity over the next 6 months, say?
Based on the current team, well, we can take on another 50 clients, but then I could just bring on more team members.
Right.
Yeah.
Is your selection process lengthy usually when you bring somebody on the team?
At this point, you're asking too many questions that will not help you close. How will that specific question help you close the deal?
Yeah, what if I asked more like, also, if I brought you hypothetically 70 clients within the next 6 months, you have no problem hiring somebody. Something like this instead work, or should I just move to?
What you're basically saying is I've got a massive cock, which is not what you want to be saying. You want to say just below average, should do just enough, right? The last thing you want to do is be overzealous with the results, saying stuff like, oh yeah, if I bring you X, are you able to hire out? Like, obviously, but you don't want to be setting such a high standard. And at the end of the day, if you're performing that well, it's not your problem. I will not fire you. Fair enough?
Yeah, so should I focus on then just ask about?
You need more
because you said Google ads you think do better. So can I just ask why you don't do them or something?
There we go. We're going into negative report at that point, but it's more logical because of the size of the company. But yes, right? But if your clients do not like Facebook and you guys are doing Facebook, wonderful. You now do Google. If you're doing Google and your clients are doing Google or don't like Google, wonderful. You do Facebook. At the end of the day, it's the exact same thing. Systems are different. The work is different, but you're here to service clients. Does that make sense?
So what do I do with the presentation if that's the case?
On that basis, I would do one of two things. I would see if I can do the whole thing without a presentation, and if not, I would just skip over the Facebook part. right? On the
Okay.
basis that I'm seeing this to be something that keeps popping up. Wonderful. I've got 2 presentations, one for Facebook, one for Google. It's a small adjustment to the presentation, so I can just pick and choose as I want. Right?
What if
Or
I just skip the word Facebook and just focus on Instagram and mix in LinkedIn there?
perfectly fine. No, you can do that. The easiest turnaround is just having all of them there. Like,
Mhm.
just add a few slides and pick which slide you want to go onto. On the
Fair enough.
basis you see that as a problem. Like, you see a recurring problem between people liking Facebook or liking Google. Make sense?
Yeah, when should I have stopped the questions and transition to negative report?
The one thing that you did not ask is the conversion rates, the sale process, how long it typically takes for someone to become a client. Simply because like there's a lot of what's it called? What the fuck is a word for financial planners? KYC. There's a lot of KYC and going over presentations because money, a lot of money is being transferred over to the hands of financial planners, so on and so forth. So it's how long does it typically take? You start speaking to a prospect, run them through all of your options, and then get them to close and become an active client. And then second to that, what are the conversion rates that you're seeing? And then third to that, what are the main issues that you're finding when dealing with prospects? So someone comes to you, what is the recurring issue? All of which will help you with the presentation and help with the close.
So KYC, how long it takes them to basically get work started with a client?
Yes. Now,
conversion rate.
yeah. So
Uh,
let's say you're now I'm going very vague, but I'm just applying this to some financial planners. I've got let's say I've got 2 million that I want someone to fucking manage for me, right? I'm gonna take it to a bunch of people to see who can manage it best, who's got the best portfolio, risk, returns, guarantees, so on and so forth, right? And then based on that whole process, I will decide who I want to go with. And then they need to do background checks, which is KYC, to make sure that the money doesn't come from illegitimate sources, so on and so forth. Now, this applies to a bunch in financial planning, but not everyone, right? So do your research because it's not going to be a 1-day phone call, fuck amount of money is being transferred over.
yeah.
Make sense?
And then you said how many, what issues they deal with when working with clients, and then conversion rate.
No. So when it comes to closing clients, what is something that keeps happening or a reoccurring problem that's is either the quality of the clients or the process, so on and so forth. You need to know what's going to stop you getting results based on what they're currently doing.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
That's what I handled the best. Next.
Good evening. How's it going? All right?
Wonderful. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Not bad. So I'm just gonna state now how the call will go. So I'll just ask a few questions, figure out where you're at, figure out if I can help you, and yeah, I'll just let you know from there. So
Chronic 1. Do you have Tourette?
do I have what? Sorry,
Tourette's.
I don't know.
That's one of you can.
Won't do that anymore.
Okay. From the top and stop saying those aren't words. From the top.
Start again. I mean,
Yes.
good evening. How are you?
Very good. Yourself?
Not bad, thank you. Thank you for your time.
No, from the top. Never thank somebody for their time. They should be honored that they're getting your time. From the
Yeah,
top.
wasn't sure if that was right. Good evening. You all right?
Very good.
Good. So I'm just going to run you through. Just going to run through the call. Run through a few questions. See where we're at. See if I can help you. If not, I'll say, and we'll go from there. Is that okay?
Sounds good.
Amazing. So, how long have you been in the real estate game?
About 7 years.
7 years. Fantastic. And do you have much of an online presence at the moment?
Where the fuck are you getting these questions from?
No, I'm just winging it. I'm not.
Okay, fine. Okay, no, I need to give you actual questions. Right now, no. Other than the listings that I post on my Facebook, no.
Okay, so no online presence. Okay. So how is it you gain most of your leads and acquisitions then?
Referrals.
Say that again, sorry, sir.
Referrals.
Okay, referrals, right? Okay, brilliant. So, if you were so moving forward with an online presence, is videos and ads.
Quantaquan, can I tell you what you remind me of?
Oh, so,
You know when they catch the predators that have gone to meet 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds and they get nervous and stutter on their words? This is what you remind me of right now. You need to work on your script. Remind me, I'll write you one up for your space. You need to be a lot more confident, to the point. You're looking at your notes and yeah.
I haven't got any notes. I'm just looking at it. I haven't got a structure of.
I'll give you a I'll give you a
clearly
structure.
winging it based on everything I've heard. So yeah,
That's perfectly fine. I'll give you a structure.
thank you.
Next. The man who's smoking and giggling.
You're talking about me, I think.
Yeah. You were next, but yeah, go for it.
Good evening, Ismael. How are you today?
Very good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. How long have you been in the real estate game?
1 year.
Okay, so you're pretty new to the real estate scene. Why are you attending this call today?
I'd like to see if I can get more business.
All right. So in general, what's your goal for your business in the next year? So first of all, before you respond to this question, are you in your own business or are you working in an entity?
Yeah, I work in a brokerage, but everyone needs to work in a brokerage to be a real estate agent. But please carry on.
All right. So what's your goal for business in the next year?
Get more clients.
All right. So how many clients are you dealing with at the moment?
Quite a lot.
How many? Do you have any specific numbers for me?
No, just lots of clients.
All right. So new clients. Do you have many new clients under those many clients?
Do I have many new clients under those many clients?
Just ignore the framing. I'm talking to German people. The phrasing.
No. In no country does that translate correctly. From your many clients, you've been doing this for 1 year. Are they new clients? I've been doing it for 1 year. What do you think?
All right. How many of those clients did you get in the last 3 months?
Most of them.
How did you do that?
Just going to networking events.
So basically, the only way you're acquiring customers is by going to a networking event. Did I understand it?
Yes. And I get some referrals from some family friends.
All right. So what do you think about Facebook ads? Have you ever tried it or looked over it?
Why do you do Facebook ads? Is that what you do?
It's a pretty good way to acquire new customers as a real estate agent.
Is that what you do?
That's one of the things we do here. Yeah.
How much do you charge? I assume it comes with the price. How much do you charge?
Yeah, we're charging a retainer of 800 euros per month. And
So what has happened is, imagine you're in a jail cell, right? So you've gone to jail for the first day. Everyone's decided you're a bitch, and you've just been bent over by a bunch of large black men, and they had fun with you. That's
Yeah, that's
literally
pretty
what
much what you did there.
Yes, yeah. You're the new girl in the prison camp, right? The Mexicans,
Yeah.
the blacks, the whites are going to take turns with you. Yes.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the call, you need to set the frame. Look, I need to know exact numbers because I need to know what I'm working with, especially with the fact that you've been there for 1 year. I need specific answers. So whether it's a rounded average, I need to know how many clients have you worked with and successfully closed deals. One thing you'll find with people who are new or people who aren't performing well is that they will give you vague answers. Good. Get me the correct answers. If you were to push on me, yes, and get the answers you want, you've gained massive frame there. Because I've given you push, you need to give me push back and you need to get your answers. Yes. And when a prospect says, how much does shit cost? Tell them, wait. Right? Because you to show them all of the fucking features before. Right? And don't ask them, what do you think of Facebook ads? What a question. Yes, because they either like it, don't like it, like are using it. I think it's a useless question. It does not help you close the deal. Right? Now, granted, I was aggressive with you, but come on. All right. And then last one, Fatlum.
Yes. Good evening, Ismael. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Awesome. Thank you so much. So in this call, we are going to discuss, like, in those first 15 minutes, if my service can provide you with enough leads, with enough sales, and drive your company forward against the other solar companies in the States. So according to my notes, I've seen you're in the solar niche, right?
Well, you fucking better hope I'm in the fucking solar niche because you fucking work with solar people. Do you not know who you're speaking to? I would have assumed that you would have done the research. Right?
That's a
So
good point.
you fucked up in the beginning because firstly you said thank you for no reason, unless you just thank everybody. Are you very tall? Are you a tall person, Fadlum?
I'm a mix.
Okay, typically very tall people overcompensate by being very nice. Don't be very nice in the beginning of the call. Then further to that, you said we're going to spend 15 minutes to find out if my service can get you leads and then get you more deals. It's way too much speaking. I need to figure out where you are, where you're trying to get to see if I can actually help you. And on the basis that I can, I'll let you know exactly what we do. And if I can't help you, I'll be very honest and we can end the call early. Does that work? You need to be very straight to the point. Okay, from the top. But firstly, Fatlum, where's your name from?
My name is from Albania.
Ah, Albania. Very good.
Yes,
Few
actually.
of the cultures I respect. From the top, please.
So should I do it again, or?
Yes, from the top.
Okay. Greetings, Ismail. How have you been?
Very good. How are you doing?
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm doing well. So the reason why we're here in this call right now, I'm here to gather some information to know what's if my service can even support if my service can support you. And in those next 15 minutes, I would like to ask you some questions to see if we can manage you something. If we feel like it's not going to be a match, we will end the call. I'm not going to waste my time and your time, and then we were just going to move on like in our daily task. Does that sound right?
Yeah, this sounds good.
Perfect. So I have some questions for you. What's your current clients number? How many clients are you dealing with right now?
I'd say about 40.
40. Okay. Do you manage them by yourself, or do you have like a team behind where they all
All
support
by,
you?
all by
Or
myself.
all right. What is your current goal in the next 6 months to access?
If I can get it up to 60, 70, that would be great.
All right. So how was what kind of system did you use to gain those 40 clients at the moment?
We've been doing a little bit of Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO, social media content, and referrals. So kind of all over the place, just trying to get as many deals as possible.
Okay, so it looks like you're a lot of familiar with those contents. I see. Okay. Do you use by yourself those social medias?
Yeah, everything by myself.
Okay, perfect. So you know sometimes exactly how they work when you scroll that you see all of a sudden a notification from ads. So my question is right now, how much do you pay for those ads right now?
Like about 3,000 a month I spend on ads.
All right, okay. So 3,000. And did you get all those clients via those ads, or did you get also referral by some family members, like colleagues?
I already mentioned that I got ads through referrals. I mean, clients through referrals.
That makes sense. Is there any struggle that you are typically facing right now at the moment, where it's like preventing you from going from 40 to 70 clients?
Not really. I'm just trying to see if I can get strategic people on board to help me grow, like people who know more than I do.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
All right. I run out of questions. My bad.
What you know is that I've got 40 clients and I'm using multiple forms of lead generation in order to get them. One thing that you did that was wrong was compliment me and say, or indirectly compliment me saying, I know what I'm doing, right? I don't know what I'm doing. That's why I'm coming to you. I know what I'm doing up to 40 clients. I need help to get to 70. So don't compliment me or indirectly compliment me. The next thing you need to know is the conversion rates between all of those things, right? So now if somebody is, let's say I'm speaking to somebody that is running all of these methods and I need to work with them, right? I want to close them. I want to work with them. I need to get them to understand that I know infinite amount more than what they do, right? So I'm going to ask them about their conversion rates, the cost per acquisition, the cost per acquisition, the conversion rate on the leads, so on. So all these different platforms, I need them to fuck up and not know the information. The more that they don't know information and don't have answers, the better I look, because it's going to come across that I would know these answers and it would make a massive difference, right? When you're dealing with someone who knows what they're doing, you just need to know a lot fucking more than what they do. Or at the very least on a sales call, come across that you know a lot more than what they do. All in all, not bad for the first time. Now, we're going to knock off the final 10 minutes of this call. Dio, turn on your camera. And if your mother's in the room, definitely turn on your camera. So let's go over here. We're going to go into competition mode. So, convo versus checklist. One question at a time. If you fuck up, we restart. You're out of the game. So I will just knock you out the game and we restart from the next person. We're playing last human being standing. Let's see what happens. Kicking it from.
This is for questions, right? Only
No,
questions.
it's for answers. It's for answers, Dio.
Yeah, thanks for your explanation.
Thank you for the stupid question. Feel
Of
free.
course, always, yeah.
Yeah.
Could you please describe your current processes for booking in sales calls?
Right now it's mainly referrals that we're working through.
Have you tried anything else in the past?
Is your name fucking Karen?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Ooh. So it's one at a turn, and the person who fucks up gets scratched off. Then we go from the top. So from the top, Dio, start the call off.
Could you please describe your current process for booking in sales calls?
Currently, I'm mainly doing referrals. Karen.
Oh. So about these referrals, is there something that keeps happening for you to prevent actually closing those referrals?
Not really. Like they're either ready or they're not ready, like different strengths, but I just put them in my system. If they're not ready to get started now, then I'll close them later.
Okay. On average, how many leads do you engage with each month?
I would say about 10 new leads monthly.
And how many out of these leads turn into paying clients?
I would say about 30%, roughly 30, 40%.
How long does the process take you from the moment you close the client to where you start working with them? Could you
From
just
the
walk me
moment
through the whole process?
from the moment that I close the client and start working with them?
Yeah, like the setting them up, the
A few days.
the whole onboarding.
A few days.
Okay.
Unmute yourself.
Is this client acquisition done through online presence?
No, it's just word of mouth referrals. Frederick.
I was muted. Why do you only close 30% instead of 100% of your prospects?
People change their minds. I've got competition. Like people decide not to work with me because they don't like me. But 30%, I'm happy with it. I'm just now looking for more leads.
What is the effective way to what is the effective way that you gain those leads?
Being a good person. Like they're all basically referrals. So the better I do, the more referrals I get.
Could you provide an estimate of the total revenue generated from a typical client over the course of your business relationship?
I would say that one client on average is worth about 12,000 to 24,000.
So how much would you be willing to pay to actually acquire another client?
6,000. If I'm any halfway point, if I'm spending money to make money and it doubles every time, I'm more than happy with that.
Which lead source has been the most successful for you closing the deals?
Bencho, there's one lead source, fucking referrals. So, Rudra.
Yeah, like another one.
No, you're out.
Okay.
You're out. From the top, Abu Bakr.
Before you said you mainly use referrals, is there any other lead sources you use? Lead generation sources you utilize?
No.
You said that you have 30% conversion of your leads and that your leads are mostly referrals. 30% is quite low for a conversion rate for specifically from referrals tends to be way higher. So my question is to you, why have you then never tried any other methods?
What, to acquire leads?
Yeah.
I don't know how to, so I never did. Unmute yourself. Come on, Tommy.
Are you familiar with the online Are you familiar with short form videos in terms of online presence? And if so, would you be interested in pursuing that?
It depends on the conversion. It depends if it makes money.
Okay.
What is your goal for the conversion rate? What would you like to see?
No, I'm happy with the conversion rate right now. I'm looking for other methods to generate leads. I thought you guys provided that.
I'm talking about the short videos.
I don't know. I've never done it before. Like, what can I expect?
So if I can show you a way to generate those leads even faster with those short videos around all social medias, would you agree on that?
Well, it depends on the cost. It depends on how much work is needed, and it depends if I think it works or not.
Based on the past quarter, what has been your average monthly revenue?
I would say about 40,000.
How much would you be able to increase that without having to broaden your team?
No. As I said, like I'm at 40 right now, and I'd like to get to 70. So I want to increase by 30.
What is your process to qualify your clients that you get with referrals?
Well, I have a phone call, figure out their needs and desires on the basis that it's a good fit and they like me on the phone call. I organize a face-to-face meeting and we kind of take it from there.
So you mentioned that you're doing 40K revenue
Yeah.
per month. Could you
Yeah.
walk me through how much of that is profit?
I would say about 80% of it is profit, minus tax, or not including tax. About my current costs about 10K.
How many new clients would you need to get to your 70K per month?
No, it's not 70K. I want to get to 70 clients.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, the German is out. 9. Next.
9.
Is there like a with those process selection, is there a way that you would also be happy if we can give it up to 80%?
What do you mean?
So like you said before, like 70% is like a profit, and those plus tax and everything else is on the 30%. So you can move it like for 10 more percent. Are you okay with that?
Well, obviously, but are you guys like how are you gonna do that?
Yeah,
Jump on.
with
You've set it up for the next person. So,
I'm
Dio,
sorry.
how are you gonna reduce my costs so to allow me to have an increase in my profit margins?
How could we decrease your costs in terms of client acquisition, you're asking?
Well, you just mentioned that I can get another 10% on my margins. How are you gonna do that?
By
Oh, dear, you fucked up. Oh, wonderful. Guys, next time we play this game, remind me that you guys need to try and knock each other out. Very nice. The idea you got killed by an Albanian. Yeah. Wonderful. So, guys, that was all for this session. Please, better questions. Alex, you did okay. Yeah, you did good. Dio fucked off, don't know why. Probably because of shit. Does anyone have any dying questions?
I have one. I was looking at was trying to fill data in the metrics, in the cold call metrics sheet that you
Yeah.
sent me.
Yeah.
And I was confused a bit. So there is pickups, there is decision makers, pitch, problem, proposal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The 3-step process you taught me was, hi, is this X?
Yes.
Can I tell you why I'm calling? So
Yeah.
that's
one.
That's pitch, right?
Yeah, that's number one.
Okay. Then
The
we've been
second
doing
one
this
is
and this, and we're
yeah,
really good.
yes. This is what we do. This is the problem that we solve.
Yeah.
Can I let you know how we do that? Then number 3, then the third one is this is our 2-step process. Can I get you onto a call? That's
Right.
That's a split.
That's what I understood when you told me. Now, what is then decision makers, and what is then
But decision makers is how often you speak to decision makers. It depends on the niche. As an example, in med spa, you speak to less decision makers in real estate. Frederick, you know
what's exactly a decision maker? Because I noticed like most of the pickups tend to be decision makers on the data from Matthew.
He's working in real estate. The bulk of them are going to be fucking decision makers. It's unnecessary data for real estate.
What is like? How do I classify a decision maker?
Someone who you can actually book a call with. So if it's front desk, so like if it's a gatekeeper, if there's a gatekeeper or front desk, you can't book a call with them. You need to be on the phone with people that you can book a call with. Make sense?
Right. So if you end up not getting through to
yes.
Okay.
Okay. Wonderful, guys. If we're in the next session, I'll see you then. If not, Hakuna Matata, make sure you're booked in for your next session. Tomorrow we're going over negative rapport. Yeah. See ya.